Hey guys, Foxdrop here with another game commentary for you guys. This is a Jarvan game, and I know I did a Jarvan game fairly recently. Actually, I did one with Broken Shard, but I wanted to do this commentary because this is a special commentary, because this game I actually get really far behind early, and when you're jungling, probably the hardest thing for you to deal with when you are jungling, the biggest obstacle you'll have to overcome is when you get behind, how do you deal with it? Basically, that's what it all boils down to. How do you deal with, adversity? Like when you're faced with, the good junglers really are defined by how they play it when they're far behind, and people who just like collapse and become useless, they're not good junglers. So this is something for you to improve your jungling, is how to come back from deficits, and this is going to be a good game to showcase that. So as you saw there, they invaded my blue buff and killed Sonos. They got first blood, and I'm very wary of them either being at my blue or making a play on it. But looking at where all the laners came from, like Jace came from, Jace came from his tower here, Lux came from nowhere special. Basically no one came from anywhere. Like basically it would suggest that because where the laners came from, they didn't come from my blue buff, or they didn't do my blue buff. Lee Sin would have needed help to take this blue away, and Lux at least would have come from this, like my side of the jungle. But this is where I get so far behind right here, is I miss my smite. I just fail it. Like I know Lee Sin had it, they had it warded from when they invaded before, and it kind of obviously they had it warded, and so he just stole it away. He knew when it was going to happen, but I could have secured. I remember I was a bit brain AFK when it happened. I wasn't really paying attention, and he just comes over the wall and steals it instantly. So this has really put me far behind, especially in the patch 3.8, the new patch, new jungle patch. Your buffs mean a huge deal, and as you'll see, like, I'm just hit level 2, and that Lee Sin, because he stole my buff, will be level 3, and he's going to get access to another buff. So I tried to sneakily try to take away their blue buff, but Lee Sin happens to be waiting in a really odd bush for me, so I have to run away from him there. And if you notice what I did there, I didn't EQ away from him immediately, because if I EQ'd away from him when he had his Q on me, what would have happened was he would have followed me and he would have been able to kill me. So I wait for his Q to disappear off of me, and then I EQ away from him so that I escape. And now I know that Lee Sin is probably going to go and gank top because of where GP is and how low he is. So that's why I head over there. And right here, GP really should just be like, he should have just ran up to Lee Sin and like ignited him. And we should just killed him instantly. He should have been caught out of position and killed immediately. But he doesn't come for some reason, and then he ends up blowing his flash as well. So this goes completely Costa Rica, but he does come back and Q, something which he should have done like a second ago, and he wouldn't have had to blow his own flash. But whatever, he gets the kill, and TF does a nice roam and manages to kill Jace as well. Now I don't get assist on that Jace kill, so it doesn't really mean much to me. But because I knew that Lee Sin was going to go top, because I saw that he ran that way through my jungle, and I saw that GP was playing in a manner which would kind of influence Lee Sin. It was very tasty for Lee Sin to go top. Because I knew he was going to go there, I went up there as well, and we made a play on it, and so that was a good start for me getting back into the game. But because, like I say, the new patch 3.8, it doesn't really mean that much, because buffs are just worth so much more. Like we got that, I got that assist, didn't really matter too much, didn't mean anything. I'm not even level 4. And this Lee Sin was level 4 when we were fighting at top, so I'm still really far behind, and they just got a double kill bot, so our team is even further behind. So I'm just going to try and farm. Basically, when you're behind early game, basically I've kind of surrendered this early game, as in I basically just thought, well, this early game's screwed for me. That's kind of what I thought. I'm like, I know my early game's screwed, so I'm just going to try and be useful later on. I'm going to try and not feed more. I'm going to try and not, the fact that I'm behind means that I have no pressure really, so I'm going to try and not let my lack of pressure mean team domination. And I know as well right here that my blue buff is respawning at around 7 minutes, and Lee Sin is bot lane, so I know that I can take this away, which is what I do. I don't want to lose any more buffs basically, so I want to take this away as quickly as possible. I'm still farming, and now I'm just looking for a place to gank with my red buff. Jarvan is very, very good at ganking, and this Lux isn't really overextending, but and because I'm not level 6, this makes this really hard. But I know Lee Sin's going to be at his red. I knew 100% Lee Sin. I remember when this happened, I remember thinking this is a really risky play because Lee Sin is probably on his red buff, because I know that he started his red buff because he invaded me at my blue at level 2. So I know that he started at his red, and I just cleared out my red, which meant that he was probably around his red area as well. So I knew that Lee Sin would be there, and I was like, well, this is a really risky play, but I kind of want to take this risk because, you know, we're behind and we need to get back into the game. But I shouldn't. That was just a bad play overall. That was just a really dumb play by me. I shouldn't have taken that risk. I should have listened to my gut instinct, which told me that that was risky. You know, that wasn't going to end well. Now, unfortunately, Leona is actually roaming really hard here as well from bot lane, so our mid is under even more pressure, just because Leona fancies her chances. But again, we're 9 minutes in and I'm still level 5. Usually you want to be level 6 at around as soon as you clear your second buff, so around 7 minutes, that's when you want to hit level 6, and I'm still only level 5.5, so I'm really far behind, and me having an impact in this game is going to be pretty difficult. But that's what I want to show you, and how I do have my impacts. I am not going to take any more risks. I can't afford to take any more risks like I just did before. Usually risks are pretty good if you're behind, but now this is a play. I'm just going to rewind this a little bit actually. Lee Sin is bot right here. I saw that he's bot, and I know that around this time, because this is when I tried to take away their blue buff, if you remember, when Lee Sin was sitting in this bush around here and he came out and I had to EQ away. I know that he just took his blue buff then, so I know that it's respawning now, and because I saw that Lee Sin went bot, I can take this away because Lee Sin isn't going to be around here. So this is a really good example of me getting back into the game by stealing away their buff. So now I'm level 6. So that was just a really good, you know, kind of opportunity, good vision on me knowing that that was going to respawn. Didn't even have it warded. That was just kind of like my intuition as to I'm pretty sure this blue buff's going to respawn. Plus Lee Sin is bot lane, so there's no risk. I may as well try and see if the blue buff is there. It was there and I got rewarded for it, and so that really helps me. And now because TF being TF, he's got his ult up, and so we're looking to do another gank top. I can start ganking now because I'm really not that far behind. As soon as he pops his ult, I wasn't really ready for it. I instantly blow my ulti just to make sure he blows his flash, so I can't flash over a wall or anything. But Lee Sin comes in for the nice counter. Not enough though, because TF's got his flash up and we get a kill there. So little by little, I'm kind of clawing back now. Also, it should be, I should say that my build is now, I'm just going to go tanky now. Like, first off, our team, GP is not a tanky top laner, Sona is not a tanky support, so we lack tanks. So I need to be a tank just for my team comp. Secondly, when you're behind, don't bother building damage, unless you're someone like Shaka or something, or just like an assassin jungler anyway. Don't bother building damage because there is no point. Just go tank because that's how you're going to be most useful. And this is another. They had my blue warded again, so I get caught out, and like they're playing very well basically. I'm not really doing anything too wrong here. Like that was just a good play by them. I mean, it would be, you know, maybe you could argue that I should be more careful. I saw that maybe Leona wasn't bot lane or something, or better awareness, something like that. You know, which is fair enough. You can argue that. I'm not deflecting all blame from me, but I'm also giving credit where credit is due. That it was a good play by the enemies, because they did have it warded. They had that blue buff warded, so they saw me run past it. So I lose another buff there. And to be honest though, we could have contested that buff. Mid and bot could have just run up to the blue and contested it, because that would have been 2 versus 3. So that they should have done that. As you'll see in this game, actually, if I remember the game itself specifically, I actually get kind of, my team is frustratingly passive. Like they don't take any opportunities when they could be taking opportunities, and it's quite annoying, especially when we're behind, for people to not be taking these opportunities. But you know, I don't let it get to me or anything like that. And I know that that blue buff is warded, and because I placed my own wards down, I can see their movements. And I know here as well, Leona disappeared walking up to my blue buff. Lux disappeared coming down. 100%, 100%, this is going to be a tower dive at bot. So I'm just waiting to counter this tower dive. TF's got his ult as well, so I know this can be perfect for us. So they wait for the perfect opportunity to come. They kind of see me and want to focus onto me because I'm not under the tower. I managed to evade all the damage, and then just a complete wombo combo of GP, Sona, Jarvan ultis, perfectly coordinated gank, and then Trist flashes over the wall, but she ain't getting away from me and from Trist. Not Trist, sorry, Caitlyn. And so just like that was, if I wasn't there, if we didn't forge that counter gank onto the tower dive, not Lux, sorry, who's it? Caitlyn and Sona would have just died immediately. Nothing would have happened with them. They would have just died. So that was a really good fight for us. And it's things like that which is drawing us back into the game. We're still behind, but we're getting back into it. I'm just being patient now with how I do things. And as well, I haven't really had an opportunity to soak up lanes too much. There basically hasn't really been that much opportunity to do so. And so whenever I can, I try and do that. I try to soak up lanes as much as possible. So I got my Spirit of the Ancient Golem, which is just my tanky item. And now I've got my Moby Boots because I love Moby Boots. Moby Boots are just I just love Moby Boots really when I'm jungling. So that's what I buy. And that should help me keep up a bit more pressure. Now that I'm a bit more, I'm not so far behind, I should be able to keep up a bit more pressure with these Moby Boots. And also my skill order, I'm maxing my Q, followed by my E and my W. The reason why I didn't even put a single point into my W is because W is kind of like a waste of mana, but it's good for ganking because it gives you that slow. However, I didn't want to gank. I didn't want to gank early because I was like, well, I'm far behind, I'm just going to try and farm my jungle, be patient, stuff like that. So I didn't want to bother putting a point in my W. I'd rather have a stronger E, basically, another point in my E. And I'm maxing my Q over E just because it reduces the cooldown, so you get to use it more, increases the armor pen, damage. It's just nice in general, basically. But you can max your E if you prefer. I know that definitely used to be the way to do it before they nerfed Jarvan. And that still works if you want to do that too. But again, like with my Moby Boots, as you saw like 10 seconds ago, I was running down bot just because I have the speed to be able to react to those situations because of these Mobies. Now, I'm not wasting any time here. Basically, I'm not just going to wait around for this mid lane to push. I'm just going to go and farm the race. And this dragon has just respawned, and I saw that Lee Sin over this wall. He jumped over this wall onto dragon. So I'm like, guys, why aren't we stopping this? Or he tried to do that anyway, or he was looking to do that. But my team is so passive right here. They don't want to contest anything, and it's really, there's no need for that. Like, we have really good AoE. Like, we could, if we contested this, we could at least poke it or something, or do anything, but instead I have to face check it because no one else is, and then I get caught out and take loads of damage. And again, I'm not bitchy. I'm not doing this just to bitch at my team. This is just like, basically, I'm just trying to emphasize the point of, I mean, it's like I find myself when I do these videos like a really difficult middle ground where, I don't want to moan at my team too much, because then, obviously that, I don't want to do that anyway. Like, there's no point moaning at my team about things in general, obviously, especially not when you're playing, but even when you're looking back. I don't want to give off the vibe that I'm just moaning and bitching about them, but at the same time, if I don't point out their flaws, people often say, oh, well, you had a good team, that's how you got back into this game. They don't really, it's hard to strike the balance between not coming off as really moany, but at the same time, illustrating my team's flaws, so I can say, actually, no, a lot of the stuff that's happening, a lot of the good stuff that's happening in this game is because of my play and how well I'm playing, and not just because my team are really good and are carrying me. So that's, if I'd come across as really bitchy, I apologize. That's not how I'm intending to come across or anything like that. I'm just saying that just because I don't want to, just because basically my team is not great this game, and so a lot of my decision making is going to influence how this game turns out. And this was like a poor play by TF. This Lux roamed bot to get some kills on to our bot lane, and TF went and did Wraiths. If the laners are roaming like that, go and push your lane, shove your lane. If you're this TF, shove your lane. Don't go and farm Wraith. Go and take that mid tower, or at least get some damage off onto it. I mean, he's playing TF as well. TF with his W does loads of damage onto towers, especially considering he has a Lich Bane. Loads and loads and loads of damage on the towers. So don't just, you have to be applying, if your enemy mid laner is applying pressure somewhere else, do what you can to apply pressure to your own lane. There's no, as soon as they roam and you disappear, there's no point doing that. Now I'm just looking for another gank bot. I've got my Moby Boots, so again I can be pretty speedy with my ganks. And we really need some towers now. And so we see Lux coming over this wall here. So I'm waiting. I'm like, guys, let's engage on this. And she walks too close to me. I managed to engage on her over the wall. And then I ult on this Lee Sin I just want to provide like a barrier basically between my team and their team, just so that my team can't get blown up. Like, I'm okay tanking the damage there. I know that I'm tankier than Lee Sin, so I'm okay with soaking that all up. I know we have more damage as well, so that's fine. If you know, I know that by putting myself in the middle there, it was basically me versus Lee Sin. Lee Sin is stronger than I am, but I believe that I'm tankier than him, and so it really just came down to the damage of our allies, basically our respective allies, mine and Lee Sin's. My allies have more range. Caitlyn has good range with her Q, with her ulti, with her basic attacks. TF has great range with his Q. So I know that my team, although they wouldn't be able to get off perfect DPS with my Cataclysm standing there, I know that they would be able to at least do some damage, more damage than the enemies. And it worked out for us. As soon as I needed to back off, I backed off, and everything worked out fine. Now, I buy quite a lot of wars this game as well, as you'll see. That's just trying to help us get back into the game a little bit. Vision is always very important. The enemy team, especially why vision is important, is because these enemies have been coordinating really well together. They've been doing a lot of plays. They've been doing a lot of, you know, invades. Just basically, vision really helps. Will really help against this team just because of the way they're playing. So this is looking like a team fight's going to break out. We've got 5 mid versus their 4 mid, although Tristana's coming here. I want to jump on Triss, but she knows I'm coming, so there's nothing going there. And now I'm just looking for a good opportunity to fight. And it's difficult, but it's all on me now, basically. I'm the one who's going to have to engage. So the kind of like the fate of the game, basically. And this is going to be a huge turning point in the game. Whichever way it goes, if we win, it's going to be great for us. If they win, it's pretty much the nail in the coffin. So, and because I'm the one who's going to be deciding this fight, because of the way I engage, all like the shoulders of the game really in these tiny moments falls onto me. And they pushed out here mid, so I feel as though this is the perfect opportunity to engage. They group up, and I managed to lock Lux in my Cataclysm, and then I EQ Tristana out of my Cataclysm. I'm gonna play this in half speed just because it's a team fight, and I'm trying to put out as much CC as possible. I accidentally stole blue buff with my mastery from TF. Let's see. There we go. I accidentally stole blue from my mastery in TF, which meant that I have lower cooldowns. And now it's all just like I'm on really low health, so I could easily be backing off here. But I'm very wary of this Lee Sin. I know Lee Sin has his eyes on me. I know he's got his eyes on me, although now at this Caitlyn's been caught, he's got his eyes on her. I see an opportunity. I don't just want to suicide to try and save her. I see a good opportunity to jump in and contribute to this fight. And now I'm the bait. I'm the bait for GP to mop up this fight. I know that I'm just going to have to dodge everything. I managed to successfully dodge, and I unfortunately missed my combo there actually on Lee Sin, which sucks. But Lee Sin, Leona comes to me, and then Lee Sin flashes onto my face, and I've been saving flash this whole time. So I flash away from him and then EQ back into him to mop up that team fight. And that was just a really well played team fight, I think, for us. It was considering we weren't ahead by any means, and considering now we're like joint on gold, we must have been pretty far behind for us to then become joint after that fight. It was just a really good, just a really nicely played team fight, and I feel as though if it was really nicely played by me, because if I had recalled then when I was on low health, I would have just, you know, we would have lost the team fight flat out. And this is what's really annoying here actually as well. I recall even though there's another wave of minions because I'm on low health, and if I'm on low health we can't contest dragon, but we're all around dragon. There's no need for us to give up this free dragon right here. We've got it warded. There's no jungler there. It's literally just 2 people. They're not particularly strong. Like, it's 1 for 4 and 2 for 4 as far as their scores go. And we had 3 people there, and no one went to go and contest that, which is quite frustrating. And again, you know, not bitching, just saying, in an ideal world, we wouldn't be giving away these 3 dragons. We wouldn't be like, that would have been an opportunity to at least, even if we couldn't, you know, take it ourselves then, which is true, we couldn't have taken it ourselves, without them coming in on us, we would have at least been able to stop that. I strongly believe we would have been able to stop that, and so that would have been a good opportunity. Like, you know, if we're trying to forge a comeback, we don't want to be giving away 3 dragons like that. But at the same time, there's no point risking like an engage on that dragon, because if we try to kill that dragon and they come in and we will just die, like that's not good at all. And now it looks like we're going in for an engage here, and I'm just trying to like soak up as much people as possible, and I use my ulti which catches off 2 people, forcing Lux to flash, and then I jump onto Leona with my EQ combo, and I've got red buff too, so I can stay onto her. And that was a perfect ultimate from Sona, which then goes into my combo. But I don't want to chase this because I know they can just turn around and kill me. I wasn't aware that Sona had her, what's it, exhaust though, so that was poor. Like, I probably could have followed it. I was a bit too scared because I didn't think they would have exhaust up. And now I can't really do anything to help this TF, but he gets away with it. He does it well, and that's good. Now this was done by me. I just used my smite then to take that away, when we can be doing Baron, which was done by me, but they can't contest this, so it shouldn't matter, which is why I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. This is like, Jarvan is really good at taking away dragons and Barons on teams that have lots of AD damage, and the reason for that is because Jarvan's E gives attack speed, AoE attack speed to everyone around him, like an aura, basically an attack speed aura, and Caitlyn benefits greatly from attack speed. GP benefits a lot from attack speed as well. Both of these guys, especially considering he has Bladed Rune King, both of those champions are benefiting very, very much from the additional attack speed, which means that taking away that Baron is extremely easy for us. And so we take away that Baron, I time it. I'm standing still here because I'm timing Baron. I think that's probably what it is. And yep, just revisiting my build again. So like I said, I want to go full tanky, and this is like the typical support jungler build. Basically, you go Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Aegis the Legion. You don't usually get Iron and Locket Solari, but I wanted it this game just because they have a fair amount of AD, but more specifically, I wanted like an instant. You know, as far as gold efficiency goes, Locket is really, really good, and I just needed something to help me with the physical damage because I was going to take a lot of pain from this Lee Sin early. Now looking at my score as well, I'm now 2-2-12 because I'm not really, you know, I'm not doing anything flashy. You know, I'm not doing anything I'm not doing any Korean plays or anything like that. I'm just basically doing very, very simple things. I'm playing very methodically, basically. I'm have good decision making. I'm not dying, basically. That's the big point here, is that I've only got 2 deaths, which is the biggest thing. Like, I always say this in a lot of my videos, and I'm sorry if you watch all of my videos, but for those of you who perhaps haven't heard me say this before, the way you judge a good jungler is, or a good player in general, is not by how many kills they have, but by how many deaths they have. I don't have that many deaths, which means I'm playing very well this game, at least in my opinion. I think I'm playing quite well this game, because, especially because in my role, I jump into the middle of everyone, and the fact that I'm not dying, and the things I'm contributing towards in team fights, I'm happy with how I'm playing this game. And now that we've got Baron, we really want to forge like a push. We need to make the most of this Baron, but we can't really force anything. It's really hard for us to do that. We're not strong enough to tower dive them. We're only like 4k gold ahead, or 3k gold ahead. Actually, we're exactly 4,000 gold ahead. So we're only 4k gold ahead, which means we can't tower dive them. So we need to be very, very careful. And this is a mistake by me. I think that I'm catching people out of position and that my team will follow up. This is perfect right here. Like, they all group up for me, which would have been perfect, sorry. But people weren't really on the same page as me. I'm not blaming them for that. I'm not saying, oh, they weren't on the same page, it was their fault. My fault. This was a poor engage. But we weren't on the same page, which meant that when they saw me go in, they were like, oh shit, and they panicked to try and help me. And the biggest point about this, the biggest thing I'm going to say here about these situations in general, when you engage and people aren't on the same page as you, it's not just bad engages. That's not the problem. The problem becomes that people panic to try and engage with you, and the reason why that's so bad is because they then don't think about the little things. And what happened in that last engage, people panicked to try and help me, and they all lined up for Leona combo, for Lux combo, and they all blew up. And that was why that was so bad, because because I forced them into that panicky situation, it was just really bad, and I shouldn't have done that. I was forcing it too much, and thankfully it didn't cost us too much. I don't think we really lost an objective or anything like that. That's something I do want to point out as well, which I've actually done quite poorly this game, although towards the end of the game I started doing it a lot better, is my CSing, like actual CSing, is really poor. I'm missing a lot of CS just due to laziness, really. There's no other excuse, there's nothing to say about it. I'm just being lazy on my last hits, and I'm missing a lot of CS. As GP ult goes off, and I see the opportunity to flash combo this Jace, and we want to be able to get kills, just because, you know, I don't know whether it was even worth it to flash combo him, but Jace has a lot of wave clear because of his Q in, what's it, the cannon form. Yeah, cannon form, that's the one. So his Q, accelerated Q, is very, very good at wave clearing. It one shots the back wave of caster minions. So it's just, you know, with him dead, it helps us push basically. But this is something which is kind of cool. I see Lux is here, and we're playing with her, and the team thinks that we're doing red buff. The enemy thinks we're doing red buff. They know we're doing red buff, but they don't know where we all are. So when she comes too close, I immediately use my combo on her, and I use my locket there just to protect TF from the burst of Lux, and that actually saved his life, because then Lee Sin Qs him and he survives, and like that was just like perfectly done. He Zhonya's while Lee Sin's Q was on. He Zhonya's it, so that he Zhonya's, and then Lux immediately ultied, and then I EQ'd him as well. So we completely CC locked the Lee Sin there, so that he couldn't kill TF, which was actually really funny and really well played by us there. So we get that free kill onto Lux, and Baron will be respawning soon. I timed it in the game. I don't know what the time is in the commentary, but I timed it in the game. There you go, it's respawn now. So we need to be around it. We don't want to give this away for free. Definitely don't want to give this away for free. And this next Baron is huge. Notice I bought more walls again, just so I can help out Sona with this. But ideally, we really need an Oracle at this stage in the game. If Sona isn't going to do it, you know, you would be surprised how far it goes when you ask people to actually buy Oracles. There's no point me going like, oh, this trash Sona hasn't bought an Oracle. It's 37 minutes into the game, when you haven't said anything to make her buy that Oracles. You know, it's not, you can't be blaming your teammates just like that. You know, and if she hasn't got the Oracles, or she doesn't want to get the Oracles or whatever, get it yourself. Like, especially in my situation where I'm just where I'm the tanky jungler, nothing against me getting the Oracles. So that's what basically we need an Oracles here. And but again, my team is very, very passive. The enemies went to go and whoop, no, not that far. The enemies went to go and clear out Baron, and our whole team was like sitting around here, like in this little I don't know what this bush is, this ramp bush here, not even poking or anything like that. And you know, you don't want to risk it, but at the same time there wasn't really no risk. Like they could have defended Baron a bit stronger. But we catch Leona off here, which is not the perfect combo, but I've always got my eyes on the enemy carry, so I'm just trying to zone out Lux and trying to zone out Tristana, which is what I do. But I get kind of low, so I try to run across the other side of the wall here, so that because I know that's where Lux and Tristana will be retreating to, so if necessary, I can then jump over that wall and like CC someone or something like that. So we get the ace there, and that kind of really hurts the enemy team's chances of getting back into this game. Now we've got the second Baron, and this is what's cool here. I'm gonna place in half speed just so I can explain this. All my team goes to push mid, right? Which is good. They should be doing that, but we don't need all 5 of us to push mid, because with just 4 people there, we can take away this inhib. Basically, the goal right now is to get the inhib before everyone respawns, and there aren't enough wave clip, there aren't enough priority targets respawning to stop us taking this inhib. So what I do is I'm like, well, you don't need me mid, so I'm going to go push top. I push top, and then when people are backing off, we take away this top tower. So we got an extra free tower there just because of my decision to go and push top instead of going mid. We didn't need to go mid, so I went top instead, and then we got an extra tower. Little things like that, which make obviously little things making a big difference in the future. But if you know, now that means that it's easier for us to assault that side of the map as well. And the only I'm kind of like 50-50 about getting mid inhib. The reason why I don't really like getting mid inhib is because it can be really, if you take top inhibitor down for example, you can then easily take away the bottom half of tower, because if super minions are pushing top and you're pushing bot, the enemy needs to defend both and they can't defend both. But if you're mid inhib, if you get the mid inhib, then they can both defend mid and one of the side lanes too. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of taking down mid inhib, but there are other benefits, for example like the map presence and the map control you get by having your mid lane constantly pushed. So you know, there are pros and cons, and this is just one of the cons, is when it comes down to this situation here when you're trying to push side lanes. Now I know that TF and Sonar are waiting here to pounce on someone, and for some reason I cannot explain, they don't jump on her there. Okay, I generally think TF was sleeping on that one just because he flashes after her instead. But I see they're going there, so I just run past the tower and I'm like, yeah, I'll join in on this. And the beauty of Jarvan, the assist machine, you put down your flag and suddenly it buffs your whole team, and then you get endless assists. Now I know this Lee Sin's having a bit of fun by doing his taunt, his joke around. He's like, yeah, GG, I think I'll have some fun and taunt, but I'm sorry Lee Sin, when you do to me what you did in the early game, I have no place in my heart for pity on you, Lee Sin. I'm gonna grind you into the dirt for making me so miserable early game. And that is pretty much the story of this game. The game ends, and that's how we came back from such a miserable early game and a really difficult. This was a difficult game to win, and I think I played pretty well, and it was a nice comeback overall. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I wanted to show this nice comeback, and if you did like the video, feel free to leave a comment and ask me questions, or give it a thumbs up. But you can also come and visit me on my social media, so on my Facebook, on my Twitter, on my Nook, and you can check me out on my stream too. All those links will be in the description, and they're also playing on the screen at the same time as you probably saw. So thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video.